All right, we Gucci, we live. What am I twisting up? Got some good shit on deck right here. Good shit on deck right here. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. What's going on, y'all? Late night episode. I know I've been hitting y'all with the new joints, but I wanted to come on here on some late night shit tonight, regular standard time. You know what I'm saying? We're back. It's the weekend. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Appreciate everybody for coming in on the live video tonight. I'm about to get things started with a little bit of chronic. You know what I'm saying? About to roll something up while we get things started tonight, man. Definitely appreciate everybody tuning in. We got some dope news to speak on. What it do, Keith B. What up, Steven? I appreciate you guys for tapping in. Major love to everybody tapping in. I know it's Friday night. I know it's late, but we got some news to talk about. So I wanted to come in. It looks like Bobby Shmurda. It looks like Bobby Shmurda is free. So we're going to be talking about Bobby Shmurda tonight. And it looks like 50 Cent. It looks like 50 Cent is back at it, you guys. It looks like 50 Cent is back at it, sending shots at the game. Looks like he's sending shots at the game, so we're going to be talking about that tonight. Schizo, appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Major salute. Major salute. Let's see. About to roll something up to get things started. I was just on the road home. Seen a bunch of news popping about Bobby Shmurda, so I wanted to come on live and talk about Bobby tonight. You know, just talk about the beginning of his career, how he how he got put on. Like he said in a recent interview, he did the Hot Boy record, and he literally did that in one of his homies' studio where he had the hookup on the recording. You know what I mean? Okay, what's going on, everybody? Appreciate y'all for tapping in on this live stream. Yep, you guys probably heard the word. You guys probably heard the word about Bobby Shmurda. Y'all probably heard the word, and y'all have seen the video now. Y'all have seen the video now of the game actually at a basketball. He was at a basketball game, and no pun, but he was in a basketball game. The game was at a basketball game, and he actually crossed paths with two major Interscope Records employees. I don't even know if you could call them employees. They're like pretty much the OGs of Interscope. You know what I'm saying? When you run into Jimmy Iovine, you know what I mean? When you run into Jimmy Iovine and Larry Jackson, I believe I believe that's who the other dude is that he ran into as well. Not so many people were making a deal about Larry Jackson, but he's actually the guy who went and got Chief Keef. He's done other things than that as well, but he's one of the guys who went and got Chief Keef and brought him into play. So he's a very big name in the industry as well, you guys. You know what I'm saying? And so they crossed paths, and Jimmy Iovine kind of snuck by. You know what I mean? Rather than have words with the game, Jimmy Iovine kind of snuck by and was like, there's a reason we sent the game to Geffen Records back in the day. Very odd to me to see this happen. You know what I mean? The game is an artist that has sold multiple records. The game is an artist that has sold multiple records on Interscope. You know what I mean? He sold multiple records on Interscope. So it's like if they see each other in passing, why wouldn't they want to talk? Like, why wouldn't they have something to say to each other? What up? What up? What up? Cornbread TV. Joe Mers, appreciate you guys for tapping in. I'm fitting to roll me up a Dutch. I was about to go live stream earlier because earlier today I actually rolled up my very first. I rolled up my very first backwood, you guys. So I rolled up my first backwood. I put some of this good chronic in it. Will I try more in the future? Probably so. You know what I mean? The backwoods were dope. The backwoods were dope, man. But yeah, man, this is crazy. This is crazy. It looks like the G unit beef is back on. It looks like the G unit beef is back on, you guys. We're gonna talk about it tonight, man. We're gonna talk about it all tonight, you guys. Okay, hell yeah, that Russian cream, the new banana joint. Yeah, whole bunch of new joints. Let's see. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Hit that share button. We're gonna have a live video tonight, man. I'm just rolling something up. What's everybody smoking on tonight? Guess that's how we usually start out these live streams. What's everyone smoking on? I'm about to ask y'all. What's everyone smoking on? Let me know in the chat what you're smoking on. Let's get this thing started. Bobby Shmurda is finally free, you guys. Bobby Shmurda is finally free. Bobby Shmurda is free, you guys. You know, it seemed like he only put out the 2 videos since he got out of jail. You know, he put out the freestyle. What was it called? The sniper freestyle or something like that. I'm not really all too sure what the joint was called because you know, it was a little long. It wasn't something you would really bang all too much. It wasn't really something, you know what I mean? But his new joint, Shmoney, you know what I'm saying? Shmoney is a good record. I can't deny that. But it's like, why does Epic Records let him go at this point? It's like, build towards the album. You know what I mean? Put the album out. Get your 1 album requirement with Bobby Shmurda out of the way. So I'm thinking maybe another label actually bought in. Maybe another label came in and actually picked up where Epic Records, you know, left off to drop the Bobby Shmurda album. And it's going to be called, the Bobby Shmurda album is going to be called Ready to Live, you guys. Ready to Live. But I know a lot of people are tuning in because 50 Cent has gone back at the game. And I want to say, my guy, one of the G Unit affiliates, has sounded off on the game as well, y'all. One of the G Unit affiliates has sounded off on the game as well, y'all. So we're going to get into it all tonight. Everybody share this video. I'm your host, Mikey T, the movie star. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe right now. Appreciate everybody tapping in, man. Sean Baglife, appreciate you, bro. Jeremy Paula says he's smoking on that runts. I love runts, man. I love runts. But today I had to go with the Irish Cannonball. For anybody wondering, I got the Irish Cannonball, 21%. Let me know what you're smoking. We're just getting the show started, really, you guys. Everybody's rolling up. Everybody's pouring their drinks. I'm your host, Mikey T, the movie star. I'm back with that potent news, potent smoke, but also the potent news. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we got a lot to talk about because Bobby's free. 50 Cent's going back at the game. We're going to go get all into it tonight, man. What's everybody smoking? I'm checking it out. Glurko, my guy Glurko is smoking on that apple fritter, sour D. Never really had my chance to get on the apple fritter, but I saw it was kind of popular in California because I saw that it was a mixed strand. And I was like, damn, that's what everybody be talking about in my lives. Smoking on some backpack boy runts. Okay. If it's runts, it's lit, man. I honestly was about to buy runts today, but in order to buy runts, I would have to spend like $400 on an O. So I was like, I'm gonna just grab this, spend my little $1.50. You know what I'm saying? Okay. E Dot is smoking on that OG Kush, which is personally my favorite Kush. You know what I mean? That's one of my favorite things to smoke. OG Kush, Skywalker Kush as well. I always tell you guys I actually got the official Skywalker Kush from Rick Ross's old dealer, Peanut. Rest in peace, Peanut. Real talk, what's popping? Let me know what you guys are smoking. Let me know what y'all are smoking tonight before we get into smoking Boston's finest Kush. Major salute to Boston, man. Everybody, let me know where you're tapping in from as well. You know what I mean? Let me know what city y'all are tapping in from, man. Appreciate it. Everybody who has questions that don't pertain to the topics, use the super chat. Ask whatever question you want. If you want to ask Mikey T, man, Mikey T, what happened to you? Why did you get run down on? If you want to ask Mikey T, what happened? Why didn't Riri give you the time of day? If you want to ask Mikey T, who was your favorite artist to link with? If you want to ask something like Mikey T, who was the least artist that you enjoyed? Anything that you want to ask, guys, if it doesn't pertain to the topic, just send a super chat and you can ask whatever you want legitimately. Let me see. First time was Yo, appreciate you for tapping in. Red, major salute on the tap in. What y'all smoking on tonight? Cornbread TV, $5 super chat. Major love to Cornbread TV. If y'all ain't tapped in, go tap in with Cornbread TV. I don't really know what he does on his page, but you know, when you leave a super chat, leave a little bit of a description. Maybe leave what you do. You know what I mean? If you have something that you want to promote, you know, if you don't just have something you want to ask, make sure you leave a little bit of information about yourself so I can read it off to the people as well. Detail, what's popping, man? Appreciate everybody tapping in tonight. My man Keith B. Lewis is smoking on that Grease Lightning. Right now, we're asking everybody what y'all are smoking before we get started. Grease Lightning, Apple Fritter, the Backpack Boy Runts, OG Kush. Let me see what we got here. We got the Jamba Juice. Okay. Major salute to the guys, Jadakiss and Styles P. They all have their juice places, man. Real productive shit. Poo Poo OG, never heard of it, J Mids. Never heard of it, bro. Cheetah Piss, Chris, one of the better cookie strands right there, man. What's that Cheetah Piss testing at, bro? I usually get it at about 18 to 19%. When it's down to a 16, 17, I don't really mess with it. Do-si Do and Runts. All right, Darren Hall. All right, Darren Hall. That Blanc Lotto. Okay, salute to Millie's, man. One of the best artists coming out of Cambridge, Mass. You know, he's really putting Mass on, man. You already know we got Jersey and Delaware in the building. If you didn't say where you're from, say where you're from right now, and I'll be sure to shout it out as well, you guys, before we get started tonight on the video. Flint, Michigan is in the building tonight. Flint, Michigan is in the major salute to Flint, Michigan for tapping in tonight. Did a couple new interviews. Bazaar. I got a new interview with Bazaar out. A couple of the clips are going pretty viral, man. I really appreciate everybody for checking it out. Of course, we know Bazaar challenged Gilly the Kid to a battle for 100K. Hopefully that gets put together. Maybe somebody like Smack, you know what I mean? Maybe some RBE, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a major platform like that will actually give a battle with Gilly and Bazaar the time of day. What's going on with you? Staten Island's in the building tonight. Major salute to Staten Island. North Carolina's in the building. All right. New Jersey is in the building. Major salute to Providence. Providence is in the building. And Cornbread is a new member. Also, if you want to join the channel, you can join the channel as well. You'll see a little bit more content that other people aren't getting to see. Maybe even a few live videos. I'll do a couple live videos like this for members only as well. Oh shit, Jeremy says he's about to dab some strawberry lemonade. Haze Diamonds, 95.7%. Ain't that some shit, man? Ain't that some shit? And I seen somebody said they had that garlic cookies, that GMO, one of the best, most potent strands. I was about to grab that. I saw it was testing at about 29% today. But like I said, y'all, I stuck with my deal. A little buck and a half for the half ounce. Rhode Island, major salute. Can we keep it real? Podcast Network, major salute to you. Salute to the chat room. We got Far Rock in the building. Salute to my guy, Barack Obama, Finesse. Yeah, man. I mess around out in Far Rock, man. Chinks Drugs actually had me come out to Far Rock and shoot his first music video. Actually, keep on moving, keep on moving, and make it to the top. We gonna keep on moving, keep on moving. Share this video, everybody. We're about to get started. I'm just rolling up. Please excuse me, you guys. I had just got in. I had literally just got in. I was out in New Hampshire for a few days. You know what I mean? Kind of just clearing my head, and also working. You know what I mean? I never stop working. Hip hop is my life. But I was just, doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't stop working. But now I'm back. News has broke that Bobby Shmurda has finally left Epic Records. So we got to talk about that. Bobby has been putting out messages for the last few weeks talking about 70-year-old people are running his label. It's not really the same class of people running the label as it was in the first place. Nobody's really seeing his vision. We've seen this many times in the music industry. Hell, I did an interview with Young LA, and he told me that he got signed to Interscope Records, and the Interscope asked him what he wanted. Young LA, you guys remember Young LA, ain't I? T.I.'s artist, Grand Hustle and shit. He said that he wanted the same people to do his project that had done Soulja Boy's project. So when it came time to do Young LA's project, all of Soulja Boy's people had literally been fired from the label. There was nobody left to do his project that he legitimately believed in. You know what I'm saying? We've seen this happen a number of times. You know what I mean? When Jay-Z was at Def Jam and then Jay-Z left Def Jam, a lot of the artists that he had signed over there, they wondered what the hell was going to happen. We've seen this happen in hip hop before, but with Bobby Shmurda, we sort of all been waiting. You know what I mean? We've been waiting for his next move. We've been waiting to see, is somebody going to buy him out of his contract? You know what I mean? Is somebody going to come and put up the funds to get that album from Epic? It didn't really look like that. It looked like Epic was going to go forward with the Bobby Shmurda album. Yes, sir. Ricardo says, watch Bobby go to quality control. That could be a big move for Bobby. That could be a big move for Bobby if he goes to quality control. You know what I mean? Bobby actually I want to say quality control actually is the hottest label. We know what happened when he got out of jail. Quavo came and picked him up in the jet. You know what I mean? QC most definitely had to approve that. They most certainly had to approve that whole situation because let's be honest, if they don't have anything to gain in the situation, then why are they going to do it? You know what I mean? Then why are they going to do it? Now you could say, Mikey T, well, they've already arguably gained something. They got a new video with 10 million views with Quavo on it, and that's going to help build up steam to Quavo's next project or the Migos' next project. So arguably that jet ride was worth it. You know what I mean? Arguably that jet ride was worth it. But will there be something more? Will quality control, will QC actually put out the label? I remember a few months back, maybe about a year now, Rollo had said when he got out of jail, he wanted to be signed by QC and he wanted $250,000 just in the car waiting for him. Obviously, that would have only been a piece of the advance. But that's another big thing for Bobby Shmurda here. Now that he is able to leave Epic, where Epic has kind of dried up in the most recent years. You know what I mean? Epic is not the same label that it was a few years ago when it was the hottest of the hot, when French Montana left Interscope and went over to Epic. You know what I mean? When Rick Ross eventually left Def Jam and went over to Epic, when Yo Gotti built himself on Epic Records. You know what I mean? Epic was the hottest label. I think they had L.A. Reid for a certain period of time. L.A. Reid they had Sha Money XL. You know what I mean? They had a bunch of the hottest A&Rs in the game. You know what I mean? No question. Now they brought over Slow Bucks and all them as well. They brought over a couple situations that didn't necessarily work out, but that's what makes a label great. Actually, the fact that they try. You know what I mean? I remember a day when Slowbucks took over, SBOE took over World Star for a whole day. What a marketing plan. Because ever since then, I knew one of the cats I worked with, Fabdon, I knew Fabdon was on and popping and never looking back. And now look at Fabdon. Now look at Trigger Rock. These young dudes that I've known for many years coming out of Southside Jamaica, Queens, now they're running with Fifth. Now they're running on their own, making major moves. You know, it's awesome to see growth like that. It's awesome to see growth like that in this business. Detail points out a very interesting fact. I see Roc Nation grabbing Bobby as well. Yeah, Roc Nation is the label to be at. You know what I mean? I was really just talking about that the other night when we were speaking on Casanova. You know what I mean? With the way Casanova built his relationship with Bleak. And then Jay-Z was like, holy shit, Bleak got one. You know what I mean? I know I got Bleak. I got Bleak all day. But now the opportunity that I gave to Bleak actually blossomed something. You know what I mean? The whole situation. Bleak had Get Low at first. They had an artist over there. They had G Baby over there, and G Baby was lit as hell. G Baby could make a blog that would go viral like hell. You know what I mean? I did not like what he had said in that one video about my guy Dice. Dice, you know what I mean? I'm not even going to repeat what he said. He would just say some of the most crazy shit in blogs. You know what I mean? He would say some of the most crazy shit in blogs, and you just couldn't help but tune in. You know, it actually, I think, is what got, you know, Bleak's first label dropped, Get Low Records, his mouth. Venom says, I've been said Roc Nation will snatch Bobby. Yeah, man, that's another label. Roc Nation, QC. You got to imagine with Snoop Dogg at Def Jam now. Look what Snoop Dogg has done, bringing Benny the Butcher over to Def Jam. You know what I mean? Benny the Butcher apparently said, "Yo, I was talking to Def Jam, but they lowballed me on the numbers." So Snoop was like, "Hold up, man. Why don't you just talk to the people that I know?" Rather than talking to a third party. You know what I mean? It's like if somebody from Def Jam comes in, yo, Mikey T, we want to hire you for $250,000. I'm like, yo, man, like, are you kidding? $250,000? I'm Mikey T, the movie star. I've been grinding for 12 years. You know, that's how Benny the Butcher feels. I'm Benny the Butcher. I'm touring with Russ. All over the world, touring right now, the country. I don't know if he's traveled outside of the world at this point, but why would I sign for something like that? Like, honestly, I'm getting offers for $250,000 all the time. Why would I sign for that? You're supposed to be Def Jam. You're supposed to be the Mecca. That's why I list Def Jam amongst all these labels, you guys. You got your Def Jams, you got your Interscopes, now you got your QC, which is sort of like what an MMG used to be, or like what a Murder Inc. used to be, or what a G Unit used to be. You got them as the popular label out there with all the glitz and the glamour attached to it. You also got Empire that just lets you do your own thing. You know what I mean? Come out, sell the records, do your own thing. An artist like Little Baby on Empire, you know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure QC has Little Baby situated to the point where he doesn't need nothing. I think I just seen a video with, what did Little Baby have, 20 Rolls Royces or something like that? Maybe it was more. Salute Mikey T. Major salute to you, Maybach Mel. I appreciate everybody that consistently tunes into these videos, man. Please subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my live videos. Shit, Venom, Atlantic Records too. Yeah, you know, I was just watching an interview, academics interview with Skinny from the Nine, where he pretty much explained how he screwed up by not signing to Atlantic Records. He actually went over to the label that L.A. Reid had left Epic and created Hitco. You know what I mean? And even though they had some little bit of success over at Hitco, like they had Yellow Beezy. They had actually signed J-Lo as well. Hold on, one second. Yep, Yellow Beezy. Yep. Detail says Benny the Butcher is about to really blow up. Yeah. Yeah, he is, man. It's Benny's time. I remember the last time I saw Benny. It was in New York. Benny seen me out, you know what I mean, doing some behind the scenes for this video that he was actually a part of with Tony Moxberg and Sheik Luch and shit. And Benny saw me and he shook my hand and I was like, Benny, I made sure he could hear me. I said it right in his ear. I was like, you're the best in hip hop right now, Benny. You're the best in hip hop right now. It was Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne had it to us, you know what I mean? But I'm thinking Benny is going to be there. You know what I mean? I think Benny is going to be that big. Like to when Birdman bet all the chips on Lil Wayne back in the day, when all the other Cash Money members had left and BG was, doing his thing on the independent scene. Juvenile felt like he was getting screwed over. So he sort of like came back and forth to Cash Money, sort of like me going back and forth between Connecticut and Rhode Island when I was a kid. My mom would be moving me out the house because I would just be acting up and shit like that. So honestly, it was kind of like that to a certain degree with just all the back and forth movement that Juvenile was doing with Cash Money. And then Turk, got rehab. He got locked up, so everybody, I don't think many people really believed that Lil Wayne was going to go as far as he did. But Birdman put that faith in him. You know what I mean? A lot of the times you can't just put all your eggs in one basket, but Birdman had to do it at that point. And after that, when it yielded so much success, Birdman went back to what he knew before that. And that's why he did deals with so many different artists. You know what I mean? Because we've heard it many times. Like if you got to sign 10 artists to get two that'll pop. Appreciate you, Chris Top. Appreciate Top or Tap. Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Let me get this Irish Cannonball lit up, man. It's a very good strain. Share this video if you haven't already. We're about to get into this news, man. We had a great little intro for the show tonight. So, let's see. So we all know about the video now. We all know about the video that was pretty embarrassing for the game. You know what I mean? You're at a basketball game. I understand when you're at a game or you're at a live event, people are usually trying to get to their seats. You know what I mean? They're usually trying to get back to the live action. So you could really take it in consideration like that. Like, okay, Jimmy Iovine was trying to get back to where he needed to be. Jimmy Iovine is a very important man. He's $1 billion man. He can't really just be mingling with the everyday person. You know what I mean? Like you really got to look at it like that as well. Now, if you look back at the video of the two associates, the two executives, I should say, you got Jimmy and then you got the other, I think it was Larry Jackson. And the game tapped. He tapped Larry Jackson and Jimmy Iovine got up out of there. You know what I mean? Not like he wasn't running or anything like that. Some people were saying, oh, it's not like the game even tried to tap Jimmy Iovine. Okay. The game was signed to Jimmy Iovine's label for 10 years. He was probably signed from 2003 and then probably all the way till 2009. Something like that. Something like that. Somebody get me the specific dates because I really don't want to look it up. He put out his last album with them. He moved over to E1. He was with Interscope. He moved millions of units with Interscope, you guys. And Jimmy Iovine wasn't even acknowledging the man. Like, how embarrassing. You know what I mean? How embarrassing. And then it would have looked even more crazy if the game would have went, yo, Jimmy. And then he just kept walking. A lot of people are saying this whole thing happened because of the fact that the game went on Drink Champs, and literally said that Kanye West did more for the game in 2 weeks. He did more for the game. He said Kanyeezy, Big Yay. You know what I'm saying? They're saying Big Yay did more for the game in 2 weeks. Venom says game crossed a lot of bridges. You mean burnt a lot of bridges, bro? Major salute. Major salute. Toronto is in the building. Major salute to you, bro. How about this, though? 50 Cent had to react, man. 50 Cent had to react. LOL. Big LOL from 50 Cent. The man didn't even look at him. We all know that after the game's first album with Aftermath, he was quietly moved over to Geffen Records. You know what I'm saying? The game was quietly moved over to Geffen Records, even though he moved an astounding 580,000 units in his first week. Now, I had just seen this throwback interview with 50 Cent where he said Lloyd Banks moved 530,000 units. So that was very interesting to me because the numbers that I saw for Banks was 430 first week, 440 first week. But maybe 50 actually has the worldwide sound scan, and Banks moved an additional 100,000 outside of the US. I don't know. I just found it a little bit weird when I was watching this throwback G Unit interview that 50 Cent actually said that about Lloyd Banks. I've always kept up with the record sales. You know, I always knew that the game was the best selling artist coming out of G Unit, 500 plus thousand units sold in a week. So now to go from there, to go from Jimmy Iovine saying that you destroyed the Beatles. You destroyed the Beatles when you went against G Unit. Because undoubtedly, you guys, the Terminate on Sight album would not have been called Terminate on Sight. That album would have not been called Terminate on Sight. It would have been a more prestigious follow-up to Beg for Mercy, which I think is a classic group album. I might go on the line and say that's the best group album ever recorded. Might be better than anything ever recorded when it comes as a group. Put it up there against the Hot Boy album, Sorry Turk. We can debate it if you want. You know what I'm saying? Put it up there against the West Side Connection. You know what I'm saying? Terroristic Threats. Put it up against the albums like that, man. I'm saying that put it up against the Dog Pound albums. You know what I'm saying? I think G Unit might have had the most classic group album. There's a big difference between Beg for Mercy and Terminate on Sight, though. There's a big difference between those two albums. Now, one sold like 5 million units. The other struggled to sell 1 million. Yes, sir. Appreciate my guy Iceberg tapping in tonight, man. Perk Gambit, my dude right there. St. Louis in the building. Yeah, the game tweaking. We wouldn't even know him if it wasn't for the whole aftermath. He needs to humble it down for real. I agree with you 100%, man. I think that comment that the game made was like so disrespectful to say that Kanye West did more for him in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? That was Did Kanye do more for you than 50 Cent as well? Because easy is so much better than how we do, right? Like, in all honesty, man, when you make statements like that, you have to be ready for the reaction. You know what I mean? Like, I'm probably going to be walking down the street next week and people are going to be like, Mikey T, Beg for Mercy is not the best group album ever. Don't ever go on your live. You got to be ready. You know what I mean? When you go out and you say crazy shit like that and you say that, you know, Dr. Dre didn't do as much for you, you got to be ready. What do you expect? Dr. Dre's partner, Beats by Dre, his Beats by Dre partner, the guy who literally gave him life after death row, took a shot on him. You know what I mean? You expect him to be all hugs and all smiles with you? You know what I mean? If we're looking at a graph of projects that Jimmy Iovine made money with, where would the Games project be on that graph? It would probably be somewhere near the Dog Pounds. You know what I mean? It would probably be near the Dog Pound. You know what I'm saying? If we're talking about realistics. Now, the Game's first album didn't come out and sell 800,000 copies like Snoop Dogg's album, like 50 Cent's album, like Eminem's album. You know what I mean? So for him to really be trying to put himself in that conversation, that's not how you're supposed to do it. You don't put yourself in that conversation. The fans put you in that conversation, man. That's why Nori was so shook when the game was challenging Eminem for a versus on his show. Like Nori was like tripping. Nori was like, no, you don't want that. I do want it, Nori. I want it. The game was talking about he wasn't sure if he was ready for Eminem in the past. He said Eminem was better than him in the past. I agree. I think Eminem's previous material is better than his current material. You know what I mean? I think M's previous material is better than his current material. I think the game's current previous material is better than his current material. You know what I mean? Not a lot of time, like Dirk's current material is better than his previous material. You know what I mean? Not a lot of time, you don't really get it like that. 50 Cent's never going to live up to his old material. You know what I mean? Before I Self-Destruct could never be The Massacre. Curtis could never, or Before I Self-Destruct could never be Get Rich or Die Trying. Curtis could never be The Massacre. You know what I mean? It's just simple facts of the game, y'all. Appreciate your Cornbread TV. Oh man, Venom says once he went up against G Unit plus made a whole TV against them, his career hasn't been the same. Yeah, it's called turning your fans against you. You know what I mean? If you look at the sales, between the documentary and the Doctor's Advocate. Now, the game says his best album was the Doctor's Advocate. Very strange to me because some of the shit on the documentary, Start from Scratch, West Side Connection, you know what I mean? Or West Side Story, excuse me. Like some of these records, like these are your best records, man. You know what I'm saying? Just because Put You on the Game wasn't as big of a single, you know what I'm saying? Like he had a lot of his biggest records on the documentary. And if you look at the sales, you guys, just look at them. I invite you to look at the game's sales. The documentary moved 580,000 first week. The Doctor's Advocate moved 360,000 first week. The game lost 220,000 buyers. He lost 220,000 buyers. So he made a mistake ultimately. Jimmy Iovine knew he made a mistake. Like I just got done, I don't know the exact figures, but the Beg for Mercy album far outsold the TOS album. If the TOS album had some game features on it, they would have taken it to the whole next level. Bringing Game onto it, bringing Yayo onto it. You know what I'm saying? They already had Buck. That was one of the major contributing factors of the first unit album selling because it was so different. It wasn't just that New York sound that we were used to. You know what I'm saying? It was not just the New York sound that we were used to, you guys. Let's light up, you guys. Share this video, man. We got 95 people in here. About to send this video to my guy real quick. Everybody share this video, man. Subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed to the channel. Yo, guys, I'm getting money like a streamer. Yes, we do need a poll. We do need a poll. I'm putting up a poll. You guys. I want everybody to interact with this poll. I want everybody to vote on this poll. It's a yes or no. I'm putting the poll up right now, you guys. Was it over for the game after leaving G Unit? Thank you, Venom. I appreciate you for agreeing, man. William, you must be tapping in a little bit late, bro. But the game, has been getting ridiculed all over the internet for Jimmy Iovine pretty much walking past him. And of course, the general, 50 Cent, had to chime in. You know what I mean? Of course, 50 had to chime in and, get a little sly remark off. 50 actually said, LOL, the man didn't even look at him. Get this guy out of here. Get this guy out of here. And you know what? That little last line, that get this guy out of here. Is that what 50 Cent said after their beef? Is that why the game was kicked off of Aftermath Records and G Unit and put on Geffen? Now, let's be real, you guys. Geffen isn't a bad label. Little Durk was actually on Geffen Records earlier. You know what I mean? Not at the beginning of his career. Durk is actually rocking with Geffen as well, from what I was reading. So Geffen is not a bad label. They've had a lot of celebrities there. It's a branch under Interscope. You know what I mean? For anybody to take that as a demotion, it's kind of disrespectful. You know what I mean? I'll kind of give you the analogy of John Cena taking the U.S. title with respect and Roman Reigns taking the Intercontinental title with disrespect. You know what I'm saying? If you kind of take it like that, you're not really respecting the situation here. The game getting put on to the Geffen, they just did that so it would appease the bigger guys like 50 Cent. It would appease the guys like Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre worked on the games project for several years. We seen Dr. Dre work on projects and nothing come of it. Hell, 2 Chainz was actually just speaking on it. 2 Chainz in an interview was saying, I would jump on a record and I could do, or 2 Chainz was saying I could do 2 or 3 records in a day, but when I'm with Dr. Dre, it would have taken me like 6 months to do those same records. But in reality, when you're working on a record and it takes you that long, you're doing this shit because you're making timeless music. You're taking 3 months or a couple months to work on a song. These artists are taking 18 months to work on an album because they're creating timeless music. A lot of these artists are now saying, yo, I wrote that shit in 20 minutes. I wrote that album. I wrote 10 records that night. We got a mix. Me and so locked into the studio last night and we got a whole album. But us as the fans, us as the viewers, when we interact with the artist, we're like, yo, man, you did an album with this guy. So we're kind of feeling like they should be so connected. You know what I mean? Sort of like 15 Game working together. Like us as the fan, the spectator, we're feeling like these guys should be so damn connected that they're like best friends. They're boys. They're recording albums together. But a lot of the times they bang that shit out in one night. So what type of relationship could they really forge? You know what I mean? What type of relationship could they really forge? And we see fallouts all the time. Young Thug and Rich Homie Quan. Does anybody got any others? P. Dice and Fetty Wap. You know what I mean? We see fallouts all the time, you guys. It's not just 50 in the game. It's just that they actually had 2 of the biggest records in the world. Not in the world. You know what I mean? He had 2 of the biggest records in the world. And that's when they broke up. Right then, when they had so many millions of dollars to get, so many tours to do, the Game and 50 tour, the 50 Game tour, the documentary Get Rich tour. You know what I mean? All these type of things that they could have put together. Cheers. What up, Hard White? Appreciate you for tapping in. G Holy says the Game bodied 50. Jay Sinatra says it takes time to create greatness. Yeah, Perk, I never really understood that as well, especially with the Game's admiration. You know what I mean? With the Game's admiration for Pac, I really didn't understand that, to be honest with you. So 50 basically said, LOL, the man didn't even look at him. Get this guy out of here. And I was sort of suggesting that maybe, just maybe, 50 Cent took the same approach when this whole beef started. But it kind of looked like when the beef first started, it kind of looked like they were going to patch it up, because they knew there was too much money to be made, and the beef was really getting started over stupid things. The beef was really getting started off of money that they could potentially make. Like the beef started over the game insinuating that he wanted to work with the Fat Joes and the Jada Kisses and the Nas, you know what I mean? And in a business perspective, which 50 wasn't fully there at that point, he was really only about 18 months in, you know what I mean, on that real level of with Interscope and shit like that. 50 was kind of doing it a little bit different at that point, where he took a little bit of disrespect to that. I don't understand it, because that could have been a million sold on each of those records. You know what I mean? Look what Ja Rule did with Fat Joe and Jada Kiss on New York. You know what I mean? Look at what Nas. Look at what Nas has done over the years, creating singles and keeping himself relevant. You know what I mean? He's one, and now his new technology and all different type of shit inventions he messes with. Nas has been an artist that's kept himself relevant since the 90s. You know what I mean? The game working with him, they've always made great music together, but 50 having petty issues with these guys should not have determined the game working with them, because they missed out on millions of dollars. Land Hustle TV, what's popping with you, man? Jay Wavy, appreciate you for tapping in. Young Generation says Jimmy was like, "Move out the way, fool." Well, in all honesty, man, I think Jimmy Iovine was just in Jimmy Iovine mode. You know what I mean? I think he was just going to the bathroom, or he was, because it didn't look like he had any snacks or anything, or maybe he was going to say hi to somebody. And when you're somebody in Jimmy Iovine's position, you realize you got to get from point A to point B. You don't want to be going from point A to point B and then run into, CD and, you know what I mean, E, F, and G, you know what I mean, and just create so many different obstacles for yourself. Bones, what up? What up, Bones? Appreciate you for tapping in. Everybody share this video. Share this video, y'all. So my guy, Trigger Ock, a G Unit affiliate. He rocks with 50. They've been running around all together and shit. I really appreciate 50 for even putting Trigger Ock's name in one of his songs. Crazy. You know what I mean? Crazy to hear that. 50 actually rapped Trigger Ock in his song. Maybe some of you guys had heard that. I'd done an interview with him before in the past. So Trigger Ock actually wrote, "Okay, stripper blood, you ain't have that energy at once upon a time in LA. Woo! You was a fan of 50 Cent. You was trying to meet and greet. Wow. Wow. That I might have to touch on that on a whole nother story. But yo, it's dope to see that, sometimes, like, I've been, working with artists before in the past, and when I see their labels get dissed, they kind of shy away from it. They're like, "Oh, that doesn't really have nothing to do with me, man. I'm really just trying to make my music and shit like that." Da 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 da. You know what I mean? And I see them kind of shy away from them. And me, I'm not trying to create no unnecessary beef. You know what I mean? But I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, damn, if I was an artist, I would be a little bit different. I would ride for my team. You know what I mean? I would ride for my label, which I see Trigger Ock doing. And I like that name that he's got for the game right there. Stripper Blood. Never heard nobody call him the Stripper Blood before. That's actually like, that would be like the game's superhero. He would be like the Stripper Blood. Uh, uh, uh. Land Hustle TV says Jimmy was minding his business because Game is not his breadwinner and never was compared to his label mates. Yeah, I was actually saying that a little bit earlier. You know what I mean? The fact that the game sales, I would kind of put him, if we're doing a graph, you know what I mean? If we're doing a graph, obviously you've got, Dre, you've got M, you've got 50, you've got G Unit, you know what I mean? You got a whole lot more than that though. But also you got the Dog Pound, you got the Game. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm putting the Game right there amongst those guys. I'm not throwing him up there with all the others, because what he did, what happened to his career, you know what I mean? The Game kind of did it to himself. I kind of explained it a few minutes ago when I said the Game's first album came out and sold 580,000 units. His second album came out and it sold 360,000 units after he left G Unit. That was a 220,000 decrease right there. Like, he thought he could do it on his own. You know what I mean? It's teamwork, man. It's teamwork makes the dream work. You guys had something special. Jimmy Iovine saw it. You know, sometimes when you had something very special, you don't want to look back and see it once it's destroyed. You don't want to look back at that shit once it's gone, once it's disintegrated. A lot of people don't like looking back in the rear view mirror. You know, but I want to point out one simple fact as well, though, you guys. I want to put out one simple fact as well there. You know, with the Game's new look, you know, he's got the cornrows, he's got new tattoo right here over his eye. With his new look, you guys, honestly watching that video, I kind of feel like they didn't know who he was. Like, in all honesty. You know, with the mask, he had the mask on, he had the cornrows. I don't think they knew who he was. You know what I mean? Jimmy Iovine is so far removed from the Game. You know what I mean? It's been years. The Game has been rocking independent for years now. I think, you know what I mean? I think, in all honesty, the Game should have signed a major label deal after leaving Interscope. And then now he should have been going independent. But I'm not his manager. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to take Mikey T's advice. You know what I'm saying? But I think the Game should, after he left Interscope, he should have signed another major label deal and got some millions. And then after that, went independent. Just my opinion, especially if he's doing all these records with Chris Brown and shit. You know what I mean? He's doing all these crazy pop sounding records, these anthems, these ensemble tracks that are all over the radio. Some of them were. Yep, Jimmy is living off masters and beats. Um, Young One Blood was on the second album. Y'all bugging. One Blood was not better than One Blood wasn't even better than Special with Nate Dogg, bro. But I'm not saying the Doctor's Advocate was bad. It just wasn't better than the documentary. I think he said it was better than the documentary on Drink Champs because of the fact that I think he said that on Drink Champs because of the fact that he worked on that one more solely by himself. You know, that was less of a collaborative effort. So he felt like that was his best solo work. Bro, I just said he sold 360 units. G Holy, are you late to the conversation, bro? Are you like not watching this video right or something like that, bro? Because I just said he moved down from 580,000 units to 360,000 units. But let me see what's going on with this poll. Was it over? I want you all to answer this poll right now. Vote in the poll. Yes, the Doctor's Advocate was on Geffen. Vote in the poll right now. Was it over for the Game? Was it over for the Game after he left G Unit, you guys? Because obviously 200, almost 200, almost a quarter million people left. Almost a quarter million people left when the Game decided to leave G Unit Records. He really lost a chunk of the fan base. If you look at Tony Yayo's first album, it sold like 215,000, 216,000 units. The Game lost all of those loyal G Unit fans who would buy whatever it was when it came to G Unit, man. He was done. Well, the album after that, LAX, actually moved 220 something thousand units. So it wasn't necessarily over for the Game. It was not necessarily over for the Game right after that, you guys. He actually put out an album that moved 220,000 units. Free Corey Miller. That's right. That's right. Damn, when Game went to G Unit, it was like Braun going to LA. Nah, it was more like Braun going to Miami. Or was that more like 50 Cent? Was Braun going to Miami more like 50 Cent going to M and Dre? Then when Game went to G Unit was like, oh, hold on, when was I? Then leaving G Unit was like going to Portland then. 50 fans left from his sales. Yep. Detail says he's worth 25 million, so he's definitely not over. And yeah, you could say that's probably more than the other G Unit members. You know what I mean? Actually being worth 25 million dollars. You could say that's more than a lot of people out there actually, but a lot less than a lot of people as well. The way that the game came in, you would expect him to be $100 million dude. You know what I mean? You would expect him to have $100 million, but 25 million, you can't take nothing away from that, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't take nothing away from that. I just think there was just so much money that they left on the table. 50 and Game could have been touring together for years. You know what I mean? And I know 50 still likes to do a little bit of touring. You know what I mean? Even though he's getting all that movie and that television money, I know that he likes to do touring because that money is so good. You know what I mean? When these guys are getting 75,000, 100,000, 300,000, as the Game was saying, they were getting 2 million for a show, and then G Unit busts down 500K. Yeah, that's serious money. Adam says the Roots moved on Geffen. Yeah, there was a lot of big talent on Geffen. That's why I'm saying the Game getting moved over to Geffen, he really shouldn't have taken that as he took it as like a demotion. You know what I mean? Sort of like when John Cena had said to Roman Reigns, "You took getting the Intercontinental title you took getting the United States title as a demotion." You know what I mean? And that was just like, it's like disrespecting the label that you're on. It's like, dude, Geffen is a pretty dope label, man. You would have never gotten a deal with Geffen if your project with Dr. Dre never came out. If How many other projects that Dr. Dre did just didn't come out? You know what I'm saying? How many projects did Dr. Dre do that just didn't come out? You know what I mean? So the fact that Dr. Dre aligned the Game with 50 Cent and they put out a project that sold, it enabled the Game to get other record deals. You know what I'm saying? And I was just saying a little bit earlier, I don't think he should have taken the deal on E1. He could have gotten a deal on E1 this year or Empire this year, and did a whole major label deal with a big label. You know what I mean? Iceberg's like, Mikey T, please stop mentioning John Cena. So funny how John Cena admitted that he took Tony Yayo's shit, but then back in the day, he like didn't want to admit it or something like that. Wow. 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 I'm not even gonna. It was a conflict of interest between two parties. Detail says if they stuck together, he would be worth 100 million for sure. Busta Rhymes' project got sat on. Yeah, it got sat on while he was at Interscope. It got sat on while he was on Cash Money as well, bro. Young Generation says Game owes his career to 50 Cent. Yeah, so let me see what's going on. All right, I asked the chat. Was it over for the Game after leaving G Unit? And 54% are saying no. 54% of the people are saying no. The people are rocking with the Game in here. I see y'all rocking with the Game. I was an OG in the hood before I turned 22. Keep gibbering, jabbing. I put a 38 mag and get the clicking and clacking. Come to Compton, you see Thriller like Mike Jackson. I might be Spike Lee. Prior to rapping, I was trafficking in the dope spot playing John Madden. Who took 5? Oh shit, my boy just saw the message. Prior to rapping, that's what the game said in his song, West Side Story. I was an OG in the hood before I turned 22. Hard White says he still makes raw music. He still makes raw music. He's got a new album coming out called Drillmatic, and you know what I mean? Instead of beefing with Meek Mill, I think he should be making a song with Meek Mill. He's got a song with Kanye West. You know what I mean? And right now, he's probably going to come out with 600 bars. You know what I mean? He's probably going to come out with 600 bars. 200 of the bars are probably going to be about the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Yeah, Young Generation says, I have no desire to listen to any game joints at this point. And, that's where the game is going wrong. And, that's where his management is going wrong because that should be his job right now. That should be the game's job to intrigue the viewers like they did with the Yay track. You know what I mean? Like I'm saying that they could do with the Meek Mill track. Instead of going on Drink Champs and have DJ EFN suggest a celebrity boxing fight. You know what I mean? You should be talking about getting Meek Mill on Drillmatic and blowing your music up on the internet, making your music streams go through the roof. Hell, put Meek Mill on the title track of Drillmatic. It only makes sense. Have Meek reach out to Lil Durk. Lil Durk actually just said to clear him. To clear Lil Durk, it's $350K. That's not true. 50 rapping on his intros has made his music hot again. Roosevelt Hill says, how can 50 be done when he raps on his own TV intros? Man, Roosevelt, actually, that's one of the things that got 50's music back going. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that got 50's music back going. Rapping on the intros to the shows. You know what I mean? A lot of people started feeling that. They were really into that shit. What did you say there? You did not like Jesus Piece? That's when I got back into the game at the 1992 album. Iceberg says, it's weird with Game because he's still talented and has potential. I'm still somewhat a fan, and I'll check his new joint out. Okay, I see you got that picture of Bella K up there too. Bella K, We Set the Trends, official lobby girl. This is a big rich town. Yeah, you see, people are really feeling 50's his intros, man. People are feeling 50's intros. Nah, man, it's not that we come through bumping it, man. It's not that we come through bumping it. It's not really like that. You know what I mean? Personally, I wasn't a big Rich Town guy. You know what I mean? Personally, there are a lot of 50 songs that I don't like. I'm not the biggest 50 Cent fan anymore. You know what I mean? I feel like his sound really changed to a certain degree. So I'm not over here arguing that. I'm a power of the dollar 50 Cent guy. You know what I mean? That's the era of 50 Cent that I'm really into. The power of the dollar 50 Cent. A little bit of the Get Rich or Die Trying. I like the Massacre album, but by the time he did the Curtis album, it was pretty much over. You know what I mean? I feel like the way when they switched up Before I Self-Destruct for Curtis, it was really a bad move. If those two albums would have been flipped, it might have been better, but 50 for some reason And I never really got to interview 50 to actually ask him this type of shit. For some reason, 50 swapped out those two albums. And I just think that was a very, very critical error. One of the things 50 said about the Curtis album is you would get to hear so many different emotions and sound from him laughing to him doing this and that. He had explained it when the album came out. And I just don't think it was time for that, man. People wanted to see that return to that gritty shit. And then he could have went and did the cookie cutter joint on the next one, the amusement park. You know what I mean? Because amusement park, it was no candy shop. Before I self destruct was fire. I wasn't a big before I self destruct guy. Didn't really like the way that they did the video with the mask and shit like that. I thought that was a little bit I thought that was a little bit below fifth, to be honest. I was expecting a little bit something more than that type of scenario. Also, what they did with Get Up, really wasn't feeling it. The I Am Legend, like, come on, man. You're really gonna do these movie themed music videos? Please, Fifth, please. And then what they did with Eminem and Adam Levine, what was that? Was that over one of the Born Identity movies or some shit? Like music videos like that, I don't like. You know, it's kind of like when Little Dirk said to Pooh Shiesty, he's like, "Nah, bro, I wanted to, I wanted to film it out in the street with all the people." That's what Little Dirk said that he said to Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty apparently had some treatment where they were going to go to, do this and that. But Dirk was like, "I want to film this one outside." You know what I mean? I'm more of a simple kind of guy like that as well. Now, I'm not talking about as simple as the Massacre music videos were. I need a little bit more than that. You know what I mean? But I don't like a big drawn out music video where they're trying to act out what happened in I Am Legend. You know what I mean? Really disappointed with Get Up by 50 Cent. And then that didn't even make the album. Roosevelt, well, they actually are making a sequel to I Am Legend. I hear there's talk of a sequel with Michael B. Jordan and Will Smith. That would be interesting, right? Because Will Smith's dog, he lost his dog. So it would be interesting to see if he would meet somebody else. You know what I mean? Be interesting to see if he would actually meet somebody else. And please don't just do the whole thing of Will Smith helps him live at the end. Please have a better ending than that. I don't remember when Rick Ross clowned Get Up, bro. What was that about? 716. Salute to the 716. Brat Pack Baby. What's up? 50 is smart. Game can rap, but he need to get his business in order. If you like Pop Smoke, you might as well like 50. But he needs to get his business in order. I think the Game has his business in order. You know, he's had a situation on an independent label ever since he could release music on his own. You know what I mean? Ever since he could get away from the machine. Now, like I said a few minutes ago, I don't necessarily agree with that. I feel like there was a bag waiting for him at Atlantic or Warner or Def Jam. You know, I feel like there was a bag waiting for him somewhere. But to go independent and just sell it on your own, I think after what happened to the Game, getting taken off Aftermath and put on Geffen, I feel like he needed to really reinvent himself because going on an independent label just kind of felt like more of the same. Like you were saying, a lot of the Game's albums didn't get the most heavy production. The production values to the videos was almost gone at that point. It was never like Hate It or Love It or How We Do Again. Um, so when he kept on staying on the label, when he went over to E1, it was almost like nothing changed. Just he went into the background a little bit more. That's why I think he should have came up with another record label. I think one of these big labels would have had a check for him and been like, hell yeah, we'll distribute your music. You are the Game. Uh, Let me see. G Holy says Get Up was horrible. At Game's worst, he never made no BS like Amusement Park and Get Up. All right. Let me analyze that for you, man. Let me analyze that for you. We got to talk about Game singles because obviously the Game singles the game singles were Hate It or Love It, How We Do, Dreams, Put You on the Game. You know what I mean? Obviously, none of those were bad. Doctor's Advocate. He had One Blood, and then he had what was his major single from that? Let's Ride, and then he had Wouldn't Get Far. And you really can't put any of those in the bracket. I would say Get Up is just about as good as Let's Ride. You know what I mean? I would honestly put them in the same bracket because Let's Ride is or Get Up is not as bad as Amusement Park. You know, Amusement Park was just like it was like the B version of Candy Shop. It was like, why are you even doing that? Let me see though. The third album. Now the third album had Games Pain, which really got a horrible reception. And also he had a song called, what was it called? It's Okay. I'm trying to think. What was that street single he had? I'm always asking people. I always forget it. It was really one of my favorite joints. But none of his songs on LAX really got all that much play at the beginning. It was the song with Lil Wayne called My Life that actually took on some life to it. But what was that record called? Big Dreams. Why did I think it was called It's Okay? It was called Big Dreams. Let's Ride. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool, man. Let's Ride was cool. But I'm gonna tell you, after this, I don't think we even know the game singles anymore. Like on the Red album, I think the only song we really know is Red Nation with Lil Wayne. And then it was like that's the only reason that we knew that song is because Lil Wayne was on it. And then we got the Jesus piece, Celebration. Oh my God, you got to be kidding me. Uh, and LA Boombaye, what was that called? Ali, I can't pronounce it, but I just heard it. And then Celebration. And let me see, what label did this drop on? What label did this drop on? It dropped on the Jesus Piece album, so it dropped on, Interscope and shit. Yeah, the game started doing those major collaborations and shit. We knew Celebration a little bit. After that, it's over, you guys. Bigger Than Me, 100 with Drake, kind of. You kind of know it just because Drake's on it, but people know it probably a lot less than Red Nation, just being 100% real. Yeah. So when you talk about the game singles, bro, it just gets to a point where the majority of the general public just doesn't know them anymore. At least the general public knows the amusement parks, the get ups enough to at least criticize them, like them, not have been interested in them. Like the record called Okay, You're Right. Okay, you're right. I wasn't feeling that. It was too late after he had already released Amusement Park and Follow My Lead. It was too late to go there. If he had come back on that with Before I Self Destruct, maybe I would have even liked the Clown Mask thing a little bit more. But maybe it was too early. Maybe they hadn't done that in The Dark Knight yet. Let me see the Dark Knight release date. Yeah, they hadn't done it yet. They hadn't done it yet. Wow. So they hadn't put on that scary ass clown mask yet. That's why 50 didn't do it. Jesus, you find out new things every day. Not gonna lie, that level of the creativity of it pisses me off. No, we didn't, G Holy. We're still on here talking about Amusement Park. We don't know those singles from the game, though. Sorry to say it. I mean, Nori did bring up 100 because we all know that Drake and game song 100. It was pretty cool. You know what I mean? Oh, you mean the performance where he came down on that thing and then Tony Yayo was there performing with him? And then they went into like So Seductive for one verse and then they brought out Mob Deep. Was that the performance? Or am I mixing two performances up? So yeah, man, let me see. Let's get into this Bobby Shmurda, you guys. Because Bobby is leaving Epic, man. Bobby Shmurda is leaving Epic Records, man. he actually posted on his IG. He said, "Attention to all the Shmurda fans. Do we have any Shmurda fans in here? Put the thumbs up in the chat if you're a Shmurda fan. Was Bobby talking to you? Was Bobby talking to you when he said, attention to all the Shmurdas? Put a thumb up in the chat if Bobby was talking to you." Oh, we forgot all the words. Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't the best idea. That wasn't the best idea for a performance. It's money. It's money. It's money. I gotta chill. What? Oh, Roc Nation, baby. Roc Nation. Here we come. Yo, Roc Nation, I'm packing my bags. I'm packing my luggage right now. Let's get the luggage packed. I'm coming to the office, Roc Nation. Hold on. Detail. Were you talking about Bobby Shmurda or were you talking about me? I thought you was talking about me. I was like, oh, I'm ready to go. Let's go. Roc Nation. We blogging, baby. We blogging, baby. We popping bottles, baby. Roc Nation. Oh, you was talking about Bobby? Damn it. Damn it. When am I going to get my Roc Nation chain? When am I going to get my Rockefeller chain? I need that. You know what I'm saying? When am I going to get the Rockefeller chain? Why is it only Bobby? Nah, but we don't know where Bobby's going to end up, you guys. Bobby could end up at QC, as some people were saying. Bobby could end up at QC with Roc Nation. You know what I mean? It could be a joint effort. I see a really big deal coming his way. I'm not sure, but I think he signed in the beginning stages for only a few million. Deals have been upgraded drastically. I got a little excited, man. I got a little excited. You know, it's like that one time. It's like that one time I got prank called by Def Jam. You know what I'm saying? No limit chain, baby. Master P, let's get it. Let's take over this blogging shit. Soldier Boy, do you want to be the first rapper with a blog? Let's go. Yo, who's SL, bro? SL was being a weirdo so he can get dropped like Sosa in 2014. Well, bro, Sosa didn't get dropped. Sosa didn't get dropped because he was being a weirdo. I mean, unless you want to say, unless you want to say that he was being a weirdo because he missed his video shoots. You know what I mean? Because he was weirdo because he was getting arrested for DUIs and shit. Yeah, he screwed himself most certainly. He had to spend some of his deal in a rehab, you know, rather than jail. Sometimes they'll go to a rehab so they can like beat you to the punch and shit like that. Mikey T Rap Snacks. Roosevelt, you said it, bro. You're just thinking about all different kinds of checks for me, aren't you, bro? I appreciate that shit. Brat Pack says, is that Detail the writer? Hard White says, I always wanted a death row chain. Well, I mean, I'm thinking Snoop Dogg might be hiring. You know what I mean? I'm thinking Snoop D-O-double-G might need to link up with the Mikey mother in T. You know what I'm saying? Snoop D-O-double-G and the M-I-K-E-Y-T could come together and put Death Row back on the MAP. You know what I'm saying? And then who knows, maybe we could even link up with Master P. Bel Air blogger, baby. Yeah, we're waiting on the Bel Air endorsement as well. We got that blue. We got that blue, y'all. I rock with the blue for sure. I rock with the blue, the Bel Air blue. But also I rock with the red though. I rock with the red like crazy. The red's actually my favorite. So we got the blue, we got the red. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta bring out both colors. Sometimes you gotta bring out both colors. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but sometimes you like you want to bring out the gold, you want to bring out the red, you want to bring out the blue. You know what I'm saying? Bring out all the colors. Finch says Rockefeller had the best chains in the game. So let's read this announcement from Bobby Shmurda since he was addressing me. He was addressing me because I am one of the Shmurdas. Mikey Shmurda. That's right, Mikey Shmurda. Or as they like to call me, Mike back in the day, Mikey Snodus. You know what I'm saying? But so he said, attention to all the Shmurda fans, aka the Shmurdas. That's me. He said, I just signed my release papers. Also, just made a milli today. I can't wait to drop. Shout out to True Life. I'm shooting my first Independence video today called Get 'Em Back. We celebrating all week in KODs. Pop out on Monday. Starlets. I'm wondering, Iceberg, when he says Starlets, he means the spot in New York? Because he did shout out my dog, True Life. True Life is my dog, man. But yo, man, he said he just signed his release papers. Bobby Shmurda officially has his release from Epic. How about that, man? He said he made a milli today. I'm chilling. I got a milli to make. Bobby made a milli today, man. I don't know what it had to do with. You know what I mean? I would have thought he would have made 12 milli if he was signing a new deal. But in all honesty, man, if he got a milli, maybe it was something like, maybe it was something like a severance or something like that. I don't know why Epic Records let him go. As I said, you guys, I kind of feel like they should have at least put out the album Ready to Live. I feel like they honestly should have put out the album Ready to Live rather than giving us another stall out. Like, this is the problem with rappers' careers. You know what I mean? Like, Bobby just released the Shmoney joint and it's up to 10 million views or whatever. And now he's getting stalled out. And now, like, it's kind of like when 50 Cent released Straight to the Bank and it didn't work and they went back. What came first, guys? Was it Straight to the Bank or Amusement Park? Pretty sure it was Straight to the Bank. It's kind of like the Island Boys song Trina right now. You know what I mean? 55,000 views. Jesus. Nick Miller says, in the midst of those commercial songs, 50 did sneak in I Get Money, though, his last real hit. Well, Nick, in all honesty, that was the last song that 50 put out. That was the last song that actually saved the album. That was the song that actually saved the album because they had so many different songs that just didn't work. And 50 said this, but I mean, you could pretty much just see it as, the general public could see it. So let me see here. Yes, he did release Amusement Park. He released Amusement Park in May of 2007. Really weird. Really weird because the album actually dropped in September, right? So his first single, Amusement Park, came in May, and that was a dud. Straight to the Bank came out with the ha ha ha, and I really was not liking that. I was not liking 50 subbing in somebody laughing for a classic 50 Cent hook. You know what I mean? Especially after the hook that we got from Amusement Park. You know what I mean? I needed something fifth, and we didn't get it with Straight to the Bank. Although that was a cool video. It was some baller shit. You know what I mean? Wasn't exactly Disco Inferno, but it was cool. So what do we get after that? The very next day, actually, I Get Money drops because it was dropping on the mixtape circuit. So he drops AO Technology in July. That was a flop as well. A flop with Justin Timberlake, if you could believe it. Just didn't do what I think everybody expected it to do. You know what I mean? I guess I'll still with Akon is being listed as a single here. They did do a video for it. I didn't really look at that as a single though. You know what I mean? Although I feel like the naming of the song actually is what held it back. I mean, you got Akon, you're gonna get him cleared on your album. I've heard a lot of horror stories about Akon getting cleared on albums, and 50 Cent had him there, and he put him on a song that was almost unable to be marketed. And he had one other song as well. He had one other song as well. Also, let me just say that that song was actually a late release, released in December. You know what I mean? Pretty much after everything. He also had the record I'll follow my lead with Robin Thicke that got leaked. So yeah, the only successful single from that album I'd have to say is I Get Money. I mean, AO Technology probably sold some units too. 50 was the first mixtape king. Perk Gambit likes Rowdy Rebel. He says, my opinion, Rowdy Rebel was the better artist all around. He has a few hits out right now. Rowdy Rebel's a dope artist as well, man. I thought it was dope that, Bobby Shmurda actually put him on the Shmoney track with Quavo. I think a lot of people were just thinking it was going to be Bobby and Quavo, but I thought that was some stand-up shit that he put Rowdy Rebel on that. You know what I mean? He put it on his first single out. You know what I mean? That was honorable. Ronnie, what's popping, man? Appreciate you for tapping in. Major salute. Finch, well, you could throw in Guess Who's Back, but I guess if you're going to throw in Guess Who's Back, you pretty much got to throw in all the classic G Unit mixtapes over the years. So 50's laughing. 50 laughed. 50 laughed at the game over the Jimmy Iovine thing. One of 50's G Unit associates, rapper, pretty buzzing right now, you guys. His name is Triggock. He's buzzing right now. He's been running around. They was just all the way over South by Southwest. But Trigger's actually getting some shit popping right now for himself. I'm hoping that he solidifies that G Unit deal. You know what I'm saying? But 50's not really on the music shit like that so much. But I hope 50 actually signs Trigger because honestly, man, 50 rapped about him on a record. So that's kind of like one of the starting points, as to when you mention somebody's name, you're bringing their name out to the public's attention. And this is usually one of the first steps when we see somebody starting to rock with another person. And this is the guy he's rocking with. If y'all want to follow him, it's Trigger Rock. He's a dope artist as well, man. He's got a really dope voice, man. I think this dude is the voice in New York, to be honest with you, man. Hope he can keep himself straight. You know what I mean? Hope he can keep his nose clean. You know what I'm saying? Because he be running around getting locked up and shit like that. But he be running around doing his music too. I think he's really finally decided to say screw all that BS and just, hammer down and do this music shit. So major salute to Trigger Ock, man. I respect what you're doing. I respect your grind, man. And he even stuck up for 50 Cent in this whole game situation. And a lot of the times you'll just see artists stray away from that. Oh, I'm not going to bother myself with that situation. You know what I mean? And I'm kind of going through I've gone through shit like that. I've seen other people go through shit like that. Hip Hop Mentor says, like you said, 50 not on rap. It's perfect timing to work. Do you mean in regard to him signing another artist? I mean, let's be real. He rocked with Uncle Murda. He rocked with Kid Kid, Mike Knox. You know what I mean? 50 does still show love to artists. Let's not get it twisted, man. You know what I mean? I've been seeing Trigger Ock and Fab Don running around, getting opportunity and then making opportunity for themselves. And that's what you're supposed to do in this game. You're supposed to go and make opportunity for yourself. Yeah, because if you can't like take the ball and run with it, you don't really got nothing, man. Like if you can't take the ball, if you can't take that ball that you've been given and go score a touchdown, you really don't got nothing. Like when somebody says, "Listen, I'm going to let you use my moniker. I'm going to let you like I've seen happen before with artists. A bigger artist says, "Yo, you can use my moniker." You got to I've seen it happen. Like look what happened when Stolly when Stolly first started rocking with MMG. Stolly went and started a whole tour. I was so impressed. I was a part of that tour. Like when he went to Miami, I actually went to the tour. I was like, yo, this dude is a genius. He just got signed to MMG. He got 30 tour dates set up. And so whatever the crowd was, whether it was 30 people, 50 people, 200 people, you know what I mean? You got to go out there and let everybody know who you're rocking with. I want everybody to subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed already, you guys. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my live videos. You don't want to miss my live videos. I'm pretty much the most lit blogger on the internet. You know what I'm saying? You pretty much don't know what I'm going to say. You know I'm going to speak the facts, though. You know I'm going to talk about some hip-hop knowledge when I come in here, man. Jason Waters, appreciate you for tapping in. Oh, the poll results. All right. Was it over for the game after leaving G Unit? Vote in the poll right now. I'm going to leave it up for about 2 more minutes, but right now, 53% say no. 53% say no. It was not over for the game after leaving G Unit. I'm asking you all, vote in the poll if you haven't. What do you think? Yes. 47% of the people say yes. It was over for the game after he left G Unit, but 53% of the people say no. 53% of the people say no, it wasn't. I mean, shit, the game released seven or more albums after leaving G Unit, you guys. You know what I mean? It's not like it was technically over for him, but once he left G Unit, the album sales they diminished. They quickly started going down. First album, 200 sales down. Second album, another 100,000 sales down. Third out, another 100,000. You know what I'm saying? Like the game's career started going down because a lot of people they kind of were into the music that they were putting together as G Unit. This was different. G Unit was different back then. You had the New York guys. You had the guy from the South. Now we're getting the guy from the West. You're telling me that this is how I was thinking back then. You're telling me that we're getting a guy from the West Coast back from the culture that originally dominated this shit back in the days from the Easy E's, the Dr. Dre's, the Snoop Dogg, the next West Coast guy is about to step up. That's how I looked at it. The game had that opportunity. That Young Buck already made it cool. You know what I mean? When Young Buck caught all the flack, yo, you ain't Tony Yayo. Who, what? You're not Tony. You're Tony Yayo. You're not Tony Yayo. You're from the South. You know, Buck kicked down that door, you guys. You know what I mean? It showed you that he kicked down that door and showed you that G Unit was going to be more. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people were like, damn, 50 could really have a label here rather than 2 sidekicks. You know, and 50 had said that in this interview. He did not want Banks and Yayo to be looked at like his sidekicks. He wanted them to be looked at as reputable artists. Shit, Banks came out and outsold pretty much anybody. pretty much anybody that you name, like all these guys that you could name, they haven't had as good of sales as Lloyd Banks the first week. Like Ludacris, Jadakiss, you know what I mean? T.I. is one of the only ones. Name some, like, who beat Lloyd Banks' first week sales? You know what I mean? Like he Lloyd Banks was on a really high stature. You know, Mace didn't sell that many units first week. I like Yayo, man. Don't be dissing Yayo in my live. Don't be dissing Yayo in my live, man. Yayo's the guy, man. Yayo actually one time on a live stream said Mikey T does good interviews. He said that on a live stream. Pretty dope. You know what I mean? To hear that Tony Yayo said that he dug my interviews. You know what I mean? To actually hear somebody like him say that, you know? And he was my favorite artist from G Unit. I catch a lot of flack from that. People really shit on me for that. You know what I mean? They'd be like, Mikey T, you is bugging. Other people, some people, sometimes, you know, when we having these chats, you get one or two sympathizers who's like, yo, Mikey T, yo, was my guy too, dog. Yo, we got that Mikey T. Yo, hold on. I got to grab my charger. Oh, never mind. It's right here. Yeah, I'm just getting back, man. I'm just getting back. I got one of my chargers in my bag. Yeah. Jason Water says, I like Yayo too. I like Tony Yayo too. I bought the album Predicate Felon, Thoughts of a Predicate Felon. Yeah, but it would certainly be ranked if we're all right, let's do a poll. I got a new poll. I've got a new poll, you guys. We are going to do the best G Unit album. So I'm not going to include 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying. We are going to include each of the G Unit members' albums. All right, I'm putting the poll up. This is a good poll, you guys. I want everybody to vote in the poll right now, man. We're going to find out what was the best album that came out from G Unit. I want everybody to vote in the poll right now, guys. Everybody vote in the poll, y'all. Yeah, it's hard because you don't get to vote twice, right? It's hard because you don't get to vote twice. Which of these albums had the best first single? Which of these albums had the best first single? I mean, I guess it would have to be How We Do, followed by On Fire, followed by So Seductive, followed by Let Me In. I guess that would have to be the answer for you know what I mean? And guys, after you vote, if you want to put it in order, comment, put it in the chat, put your order in the chat. Why does Thoughts of a Predicate Felon have no votes? Nobody's voting for Thoughts of a Predicate Felon? Oh, Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, actually, Gambit. That's what I was actually talking about earlier. I was talking about I was actually talking about that shit earlier. The fact that Beg for Mercy is a classic G Unit album. Yeah, How We Do was the best single, I'd have to say. I really wasn't a big On Fire guy either. I liked Hands Up more than On Fire, just to be honest. Iceberg, am I crazy for that? Was Hands Up or On Fire better? Finch says documentary, Hunger for More, Cashville, Thoughts of a Predicate Felon, my four in order from best to worst. So Seductive was trash. Sorry. Bottego Veneto Costa Arm, Yayo's a Don, Makar European. The boots from Bottego Veneto Costa. That's so funny when you got a rapper complaining about how much shit costs in his song. Yayo's in like the store with the girl buying them boots from Bottego Veneto, and he's like, "Oh shit, them shoes cost an arm." I should do a skit like that. What? Fresh Light, Impala, I like how they were doing that shit from the side. You know what I mean? Wondering how that shit's looking on the playback. Fresh Light, Impala, Chrome Hydraulics, 808, y'all don't want none. I liked how they was doing the side angle on that shit. Better run, Mikey T. Mikey T. Better run. Do this blogging shit for fun. Mikey T. Better run. Blogging ain't that fun. Banks is a lyrical beast. Hard White says Doc, Hunger, Cashville, Thoughts of Predicate Felon. I guess that's pretty much the general synopsis. Well, right now the documentary is leading. The documentary is leading you guys with 33%. Hunger for More and Straight Outta Cashville are tied with 25. Wow, never mind. Never mind. Now we're tied for first. Everybody vote in the poll right now if you were fans of the original 4 G Unit albums. I'm talking about The Hunger for More, Straight Outta Cashville, Thoughts of a Predicate Felon, and the documentary. Thoughts of a Predicate Felon actually did drop last. It dropped in August. Documentary dropped January 2005. Straight Outta Cashville dropped September 2003, and Hunger for More dropped July of 2003. J1, the Lou Kid, appreciate you for tapping in. He says, what about Tony Yayo? I Know You Don't Love Me featuring Banks, Fifth, and Buck. Yeah, that was actually Yayo's fourth single. He had So Seductive, Curious, Pimpin'. Curious and Pimpin' were kind of in one. But he also street single, Live by the Gun, then So Seductive, then The Curious Pimpin', and then I Know You Don't Love Me is what he put out fourth. My homie RBH, one of my critics and also artist on the channel, RBH actually said that the I Know You Don't Love Me song should have been Yayo's first introduction rather than So Seductive. He said that I Know You Don't Love Me should have came first. Chrome Hydraulics, 808s, y'all don't want none. Y'all don't want none. Mikey T better run. When beef is on, I pop that. Trunk. Live by the Gun was fire. Yeah, I really liked it. I was a big Live by the Gun guy, man. You know what I mean? We project living with plastic on the furniture. What else he said? He said a line about my game bag names like Paris and Nikki. Load up the semi. I'm in the cut, carve in the you stunt, you stunt. Yayo putting holes in your back, something like that. New York City, everything moves fast. Little girls getting pregnant, put their babies in. He did the throwback to Tupac's Brenda's Got a Baby. You know what I mean? The lyrics were just off the hook, man. I liked how he said that. We project living with plastic on the furniture. Man, I wish I would have kept some plastic on the back seat of my car. Got a blunt burn in the back seat of the car. But plastic wouldn't have helped that, right? RBH. Yeah, RBH was right. Yeah. Stomp. Stomp. Is that's the one with the game and yeah, the game and oh, I'm sorry, you guys. I said 2003 for Young Buck and Lloyd Banks. 2003 was 50 Cent and Beg for Mercy. 2004 was Lloyd Banks, July. 2004, Young Buck, September. And then the game 2005 January, and then 50's The Massacre, and then it followed up with the games Thoughts of a Predicate Felon, and then actually they dropped the G Unit soundtrack that November when the Get Rich or Die Trying movie. I want to say it dropped around then. I don't know the exact date of when it dropped. Shit made like $12 million opening weekend though. South Side Story by Lloyd Banks. I'm not gonna front, man. I don't know if I could really come on here and quote some Lloyd Banks lyrics as well as I could quote those Tony Yayo lyrics. I'd have to think about that. Yeah, Yayo killed that. I just don't know where they went wrong on the album. I guess it was all the times when Yayo would like break out and start singing Boys to Men and shit. I like the soundtrack. The soundtrack is amazing. That 50 Cent song, What If? You got MOP on there. You got Mobb Deep on there with Nate Dogg on Have a Party. That was really you had Lloyd Banks's song Get Low on there. Tony Yayo, this is where you knew Yayo was starting to really like not do what we wanted Yayo to do. Yayo had the song called Fake Love. And on the hook, he was rapping the hook very slow. And it was like, damn it, Yayo, this is not what we want from you. This is not what we need from you, Yayo. We need that more quick paced, Yayo. We don't need the subdued, lounging back, smoking a cigar, Yayo. We need that hungry, that gritty. He wants to go out. You know what I mean? He turns, what does he say? He turned yeah, I needed the aggressive, gritty Yayo, man, not the laid back Yayo. And that's more of what we got when he did that record with Snoop from The Wire and Maserati Fox, rest in peace, called It's a Stick Up. You know, we got more of that chilled out Yayo, which I really wasn't big on. Damn, that's crazy. Because that's crazy. Iceberg says, bro, Young Buck has got a whole album with the Outlaws nobody even knew about. His marketing sucks. That's crazy because when Pac had passed away, Suge Knight put out an album, or Death Row put out an album with the Outlaws in Pac material that sold a shitload of units. You know what I mean? Even Suge Knight knew to capitalize on that, but I guess that's not really saying a lot. Suge Knight knew how to scrape together projects. I mean, look what he did with those new mix classics. I will never forgive my friend for making me listen to that shit. Window Shopper, I like the remix with Mace. I like the Window Shopper remix with Mace. Colossal the Don, appreciate you tuning in. Anthony says the soundtrack was super fire. Yeah. Now that soundtrack was so much better than Terminate on Sight. Let me check up the poll. Colossal, if you haven't voted in the poll, yep, Tupac and the Outlaws still I rise. Jason, get me the sales on that, bro. I want to say it was in the 400,000 range. For some reason, I'm getting 437,000 in my head just from a memory. But let me know if you can get that for me. Vote in the poll if you guys haven't, man. Vote in the poll if you haven't, man. The poll is the best G Unit album. Right now, Lloyd Banks is leading. Lloyd Banks is leading with Hunger for More at 45%. And he is followed by the documentary from the game, 32%. Straight Out of Cashville, 14%. Thoughts of a Predicate Felon, 9%, you guys. So vote in this poll, you guys. Vote in this poll if you guys want to change the results. Window Shopper Remix was better. 50 says names in the hooks. I don't really think it was a matter of 50 saying names. You know, when he would say Ja, Joe, Jada, like he said all those names and shit. I don't think that was really, I don't really think that was it, to be honest with you guys. The remix, the remix that would have been better is the straight up Mace remix. Sorry, you guys. I had a couple long days, man. I had a long week, I should say. Star, do you know my guy Trigger Ock? All right, I'm gonna get these sales. Yep, 408,000. 408,000. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. That whole Mace mixtape was classic. What was the mixtape that Mace did with 50 Cent? I don't remember hearing a full joint. I remember hearing a bunch of freestyles and shit. And then he had like the one feature. He had the one feature on the Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack, but that's pretty much all I really heard, you guys, to be honest with you. Detail, I really wasn't too much into Hunger for More too, bro. Yeah. That's seeming to ring a bell, bro. Yep, salute to Southpaw. I don't know if he actually goes live, man. I don't know if he actually goes live, but I'm thinking about asking him to come on a live video and shit. I know his channel is dope. We actually connected on Twitter through a couple of my interviews, and I really appreciate him supporting, the Bizarre interviews. He supported my Royce the 5'9" interview. I really appreciate that shit. Yeah, but Jason, they did 408,000 first week. And this was a Death Row Interscope album. Something Suge Knight pulled out the tuck. LA Realist. I was saying, bro, I was more into the old Game, you know what I mean? And then I kind of lost touch with Game, as most people did, because his industry spotlight had diminished greatly. You know what I mean? Throughout the years of him being in front of the camera, like I said a little bit, you could sort of see the quality of the video. It never really was the same of the documentary. But then when we got to the later albums, you know what I mean? Like the Red album, the Jesus Piece album, you know what I mean? When we got to these later albums, it was almost like the marketing really was gone. At one point, the only marketing was a video with Lil Wayne, I feel like, you know what I mean? Which is great. You know what I mean? That shit's great to have a record like that, but it's like you need to have the machine behind you. So that's why I kind of feel like the game after leaving Interscope should have went to another major rather than go get the independent money. Even though that was like the popular thing, like, yo, go get what you're worth. Da, 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 da. When you got a name, like the game joined up with these dudes and they made him a big name in the industry. This is your chance to like go to another label and get a bag because of who you are, you know, but Game took the independent route. He sold a few records a few times. LA Realist, I appreciate you for tapping in, man. That's love. J1 says Banks' Rotten Apple album was the closest to Hunger for More LP. Yeah, the only problem with the Rotten Apple was a couple of the tracks, you know? The only issue with the Rotten Apple was actually the track listing. You know what I mean? Like some of these records like Make a Move, Stranger, Change, even New York, New York with Tony Yayo. You know what I mean? Like some of these records just it was cool to see him do joints like the Iceman with 8 Ball and Scarface, you know, and put Buck there since Buck was their South guy. That shit was cool, you know? But Get Clapped with Prodigy. It was cool, but it was like it's not what we were expecting from the man who just moved 400,000 units. But let's be honest, this album came in October of 2006. That's like 2 years and 2 months later. Help was great with Carrie Hilson, you know, except Carrie Hilson, I don't think she wasn't really that big then. Carrie Hilson really wasn't big then. That was the thing. Let me see. Yeah, Carrie Hilson's debut album, In a Perfect World, actually wouldn't drop for 3 more years. One Night Stand, it had somebody on there that we really don't know, Keon Bryce. You know, they could have went with a bigger feature. You know what I mean? They could have went with a more known feature on that song. The Cake with 50 Cent. I like how they did that. That was a cool single. Roosevelt says G-Unit and Lil Wayne could say mixtapes and everything. Let me look at this poll right now. I want to see what y'all are saying in the poll. So, wow, the best G-Unit album. In last place, it's Thoughts of a Predicate Felon with 7%. Thoughts of a Predicate Felon is last place with 7%, you guys. Nobody in here wants to vote for Thoughts of a Predicate Felon. Vote in the poll right now, you guys. Third place with 12%. Hold on, we have breaking news. Tony Yayo's Thoughts of a Predicate Felon has now fallen to 6%. Thoughts of a Predicate Felon has 6% of the poll. If you want to impact these numbers, vote right now, you guys. Marvin, vote in the poll before you leave if you haven't voted yet. Anybody that hasn't voted, vote right now. So third place, we've got Straight Outta Cashville. The poll, guys, the poll is best G-Unit album. I'm asking you guys, what was the best G-Unit album? 50 Cent's not included. Yeah, Carrie Hilson is amazing. Damn, Sean Baglife said Tony Yayo's album is garbage. I bought that album, Sean. I bought that album, man. Put some respect on that album, bro. All right, so Straight Outta Cashville is in third place with 12%. The Documentary, 28%. Second place. And with an overwhelming 53%, Lloyd Banks has the number 1 G-Unit album right now, you guys. I'm seriously, I'm in a little bit of shock because at first the game was leading. Lloyd Banks and Young Buck were actually tied up, and Game was leading. But at this point, Lloyd Banks is 53%. We only got 32 votes in there, so there's 60 of you in here right now. Let's get another 20 votes in there so we can really affect this poll and see who had the best G Unit album. If you didn't purchase any of the albums, just say in the chat. Like, yo, I didn't get none of the G Unit albums, to be honest with you, Mike. Because let me see. Let me look at that. I got all the albums. Yes, I have bought all those albums. I actually bought all those albums. And I definitely bought the Rotten Apple as well. Because I wanted to, I wanted to see, I wanted to hear it. I liked the title, I liked the concept. I thought it was cool where Banks was going with it. I wanted to see the mixture of the rugged shit with some of that new celebrity shit because of the fact that he had sold so many units. Bo Fay, Free Dark Low, damn right. I want everybody to vote in the poll. It's pretty easy if you can see it in the chat. I really wasn't feeling Warrior Part 2. Yeah, I wasn't feeling the features on Warrior 2, to be honest with you, man. Really wasn't feeling how they were all riding it. Eminem. Hunger for More. Dope album. Oh, I need to roll something else up, you guys, to be real with you. Yep. Yep. Oh, shit. The documentary's jumping up. Documentary's jumping up. People are putting a little bit of respect on the documentary. Damn, I don't remember the Straight Outta Cashville DVD. I can't remember that one, man. I did have the album. I had both his first and his second albums. But I cannot remember I cannot remember the DVD that came with his album. I'm trying to think if I had bought the New Breed album or if I just watched it. I'm trying to think if I had got the New Breed joint or if I just watched it. I really can't remember what was featured on the New Breed, to be honest with you. 50 would do a bunch of re-releases and shit. Like he did with the Massacre when they re-released it with the Mobb Deep single for Out of Control. And like my guy RBH was telling me, he was like, yo, well, that's how 50 was able to get budgets to do that type of shit with Mobb Deep. Because I was like, why didn't they use like Out of Control remix on Mobb Deep's album, like the Blood Money album? Why didn't they save Have a Party for the Mobb Deep album? And, those were kind of bigger videos to a certain extent, so I think it kind of had to make sense to the label which projects they ended up on. And we saw the Massacre re-release do numbers, and we saw the, Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack do numbers. You know what I mean? Guys, if you haven't voted in the poll, vote in the poll right now. Please. I want you to please I assure you. But maybe we just don't have that many people who have actually copped those albums in here because those albums did come out in the early 2000s. All those albums came out by 2005, the top of the year, January 2005. All these, no, excuse me, August 2005 was the last album on this list. Let me see. I need to go get some of this other tree. Got a little grab bag of Chronic here, you guys. Oh yeah, this is what I really want to smoke right here. This apple juice. Some cool ass weed. But yeah, man, let me take some questions before we get up out of here tonight. Always got to take some open questions on the live podcast, man. Always got to do open questions from everybody in here. Wow. It really looks like the game is pulling up. The game is pulling up. The documentary up to 31%. Hunger for More sitting at 53%. What is the next watch along? Wow, the next watch along. Actually, we were thinking about doing my second ever interview with Gilly the Kid. I was thinking about doing my second ever interview with Gilly the Kid, to be honest with you. That's what I was thinking the next watch along was going to be. You know, where Gilly the Kid actually speaks on running into Birdman. You know, I was actually there when Gilly the Kid ran into Birdman. Gilly the Kid was actually talking to me about Lil Wayne in this interview, you know, as well as, you know, Meek Mill and A.R.Rab, Future, shit, Drake. We were talking about, you know, a lot of shit, you know, in this interview. I was thinking about doing that for my next watch along. I don't know what you're talking about, Bo. My bad, bro. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that. All right, I'm twisting up the where is it? Yeah, I'm twisting up the pacifier apple juice. I don't know what the hell the pacifier is. Maybe that shit's about to put me to sleep. You know what I'm saying? It's Bama says, what do you think about Whack 100 getting into all this beef on Clubhouse? Well, I mean, you know, like I said, he's gonna have a podcast, and now he has a podcast. He actually had kind of one of the dopest intros to podcasting. You know, Gilly and Wallow, Adam 22, and academics all going on his show. You know what I'm saying? I gotta, you know, take my hat off to him on that note, you know, having all those guys coming on to the show. Did I watch it? No, I haven't found the time to watch it. You know, I'm kind of doing my own thing. You know what I mean? I come on here doing these podcasts and shit like that. But you know what I mean? That's what it resulted in. You know, him doing all that Clubhouse shit. His voice is out there. He's more than a manager now. He's actually taken on a life of his own. He's actually taken on the life of his own as a influencer. You know what I mean? I call myself a hip hop influencer. Yeah. This will be interesting. This blunt right here. This joint will be right. This will be interesting right here. Very intrigued to smoke this flower. Oh, wow. Yeah, but if anybody has any open questions, send them in now. It's been a dope podcast tonight, man. 50 laughing off the game. We're going to have to talk about what the game is now saying in response to 50, but we'll be back tomorrow night to talk about that. More polls tomorrow night. You know what I mean? More conversation tomorrow night, same time. SV Twiz will be with us. Who knows? Who knows, man? You never know what could happen here on the show. Who knows? Maybe we'll pop the Bel Air tomorrow. Maybe somebody will drop a $50 super chat and we'll pop the Bel Air tomorrow. But you know, if you drop the super chat, it's your choice. Whatever bottle you want us to pop. You know what I mean? We will pop. And I say that because we keep bottles on chill, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep the podcast bottles, but then you got your bottles that are on chill. You know what I'm saying? So who knows, man? Anything can happen on this show, man. I can legitimately come on here and say anything I want. I can legitimately come on here and tell you any story that happened to me that I want. You know what I mean? I legitimately can come on here and reveal any detail or thought in my mind that I think about something that is going on. But we keep it respectable on this channel. You know what I mean? We keep an open mind as well on this channel. And we're always receptive to others' thoughts and opinions as well. Brad, appreciate you for tapping in, man. My dude smoking on that Gorilla Glue. Okay. Yayo is at 5%. Vote in the chat. I'm going to leave it up for 2 more minutes. If you have not voted yet, vote right now, you guys. We got 2 minutes, and vote on your favorite G Unit album right now. Jason says, have you heard Cypress Hill's new album, Mikey T? No, I have not. I have not heard Cypress Hill's new album, but I have heard that Cypress Hill is going to be battling Onyx. We got a versus battle, Cypress Hill and Onyx, and I'm not lying, man. That is one that I would really be interested. That is one that I would really be interested in actually seeing live. You know what I mean? I would love to go to that shit live. But if I just got to watch it on the internet, that's cool. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure it's going to be in California. You know what I mean? But yo, that would be lit, man. Yo, Finch, I appreciate you for tapping in. I appreciate you for voting in the polls, even listing out your favorite G Unit albums, though, man. That shit's real. If anybody has not voted in the poll, vote right now. What was your favorite from the G Unit albums? But major salute to you for tapping in tonight, Finch Bar, Toronto, Canada. Mike, he says, Mikey T, great show, big man. Wishing everyone a good night. Peace to the gods. Major salute to you. We will see you on tomorrow night's show, Finch, if you're still in here, or maybe if you're watching this on demand. You know what I mean? Or maybe he just never sees the shout out that I gave him. Let me see. Hard White, this was dope. Thanks for having me. Have a great night. Yo, have a good night, Hard White. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about 50 Cent versus The Game. Apparently the challenge has been thrown out. We're not going to have that discussion right now. Tomorrow, Twiz and myself will have that discussion because the gauntlet's been thrown out, man. And now I see why Trigger, 50's affiliate, Trigger Ock, 50 actually shouted Trigger out on records. You know what I mean? 50 shouted Trigger out on records. That's a tongue twister. But yeah, we're gonna get into it tomorrow. I might even line all of their material up against one another, man. I might even do that just because it's a big thing, man. It's a big thing. And also we might have to go over that little Eminem call out there. Miss Cookie, what's going on? PBN. The PBN network is in the building. Positive beats negative. Great to have you in here tonight. Appreciate you, Cookie. Shout out to Q Life as well. Hell yeah. Salute to you, Finch. Have a great night. I want everybody out there to have a great night. I'm giving you guys 1 more minute to vote in the poll. Then I'm going to read the results. I want to know what's your favorite G Unit album. Was it the documentary? Was it Hunger for More from Lloyd Banks? Was it Straight Outta Cashville? Was it that Southern Vibe from Young Buck? Or was it the gritty New York streets mixed with a little bit of So Seductive from Tony Yayo? I want to know, was it Thoughts of a Predicate Felon, Straight Outta Cashville, Hunger for More, or the documentary? What was your favorite G Unit album? I'm going to leave the poll back up for about 90 seconds. And I'm also going to put my Instagram up so everybody on here can follow me. But I'm going to say, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. You know what I mean? Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss these live chats, man. Definitely had to come on tonight, man, with Bobby Shmurda officially being off Epic Records. You know what I mean? But then 50 laughing at Game. I mean, come on. Come on. That's some shit we've been following since 2004, 2005. You know what I mean? Since we 2003, really, since we really first heard Young Buck shout out the Game on the Beg for Mercy album, like in all honesty. But and then Bobby leaving Epic, like wow, where does he go from here? Where does he go from here? What check is he about to pick up from here? I know he said he got a millie, unless he meant a muley, like a Frank Muley, but I think he said a millie. But yeah, y'all, follow me on Instagram. Whoever follows me right now, I'm going to go on the gram. I'm going to literally follow you guys back. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'm going to end the poll right now, you guys. The best G Unit album. It's looking like you guys. Number 4 is coming in from Thoughts of a Predicate Felon. The number 4 G Unit album is Thoughts of a Predicate Felon with 9%. Number 3, Straight Out of Cashville from Young Buck. Shorty Wanna Ride. You know what I'm talking about? 11%. So Young Buck is number 3. Number 2, The Game with 33%. And number 1, Lloyd Banks with 48%, you guys. That's what we got there. It was a great poll. I'm about to shut the poll down. It was a great poll. Doesn't look like the numbers are changing, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Awesome poll right there. Couple great polls tonight. Appreciate you, Jason. Smash the like button. Ivision, that's right, man. Smash that like button. What up, K Ford? What's popping? Appreciate you for tapping in. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Listen, if you're watching this video on demand, follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is in the description of this video. Follow me on Instagram. Shoot me a message, Mikey T. What's good? I was just watching your video about Bobby leaving Epic or, 50 in the game and shit like that. Or just drop a comment on my pictures and shit. Follow me back, Mikey T. But shoot me a follow, and more than likely, I'll follow you guys back immediately if you're watching on demand. But if anybody that's watching right now wants to head over to the gram and shoot me a follow, I will follow you guys back right now. I'm about to get off this shit, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight and staying logged in. We had an epic show, a dope live podcast tonight, man. I will see you all tomorrow night. Apparently, we're going to be talking about 50 in game versus. There's going to be a couple other news pieces we speak on as well, though, man. If some shit blows up, like how Bobby Shmurda posted in his story about leaving Epic, obviously, we're going to talk about that, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in tonight, though, man. I'm Mikey T, the movie star, and y'all will see me tomorrow night. Let's go.